Pro MMA fight number 22 for Manny Muro. Muro has fought 5 times in Bellator, once in LFA. In our fighter meeting, Muro said, I want to be efficient and technical with my striking. Muro said, I really believe in my cardio and I pride myself on being a true grinder. I play smart defense, I play smart offense. I am relentless with my grinding style.
Yeah, veteran is an understatement when we're talking about Manny Muro. He's fought the who's who. He's not going to be fazed by the hype that comes behind Gage Young fighting here near his hometown. And Gage Young has fought for FAC numerous amount of times, has headline shows for FAC, has even put on one of the nastiest knockouts I've got to see live in front of Dana White and the Nelk boys, but he's not fazed by that. He's fought the likes of Usman Nurmagomedov, the Nick Newells, and has won, has wins over some of those gentlemen, and he's going to want to use that experience here tonight against Gage Young.
Muro said, on the feet, straight punches. If I'm on the ground in top position, Manny Muro told us I want to be, quote, smothering with my pressure and tactical with my ground and pound.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Gage Young.
Huge ovation for Gage Young. Young entering 5-1 in his pro MMA career at the age of 23, a full 13 years younger than his opponent in our main event, Manny Muro. Young has recorded 3 first-round finishes in those 5 pro MMA wins. In our fighter meeting, Young told us he has really worked on lowering his stance. He said, I will sit down on my punches. I feel my lowered stance has been able to allow me to generate more punching power.
Yeah, Sean, he's talked about wanting to slow things down in there. This kid, he's a kid in all senses. He's had a lot on his plate. Headline FAC shows. He's fought in front of Dana White, the Nelk boys, like I mentioned earlier. And that's a lot of pressure to have on you at 21, 22, 23 years old. Got offered a shot on Contender Series and said, hey, I think I'm a little too young, but I'll be there. And for someone to have that awareness and that IQ at such a young age just shows the potential Gage Young has and just the level that he's already at and wants to continue rising to get to the next level. And although he's coming off his first loss, he wants to prove he's ready for the big show.
Our main event of the evening at the catchweight of 160 pounds, Manny Muro versus Gage Young. You see the numbers, they are presented by Milagro Tequila.
Manny Muro, 13 years his elder, both weighed in under the lightweight limit of 156 pounds. Manny Muro will have a mere mere half-inch reach advantage.
Again, Brian Wood.
Tonight's main event is brought to you by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Manny the Dragon Muro. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Money Gage Young. Oh baby, let's go.
Gage Young said, I want to utilize lateral movement rather than backwards and forwards movement. I want to use my grappling defensively, keep this fight standing, and then set up my full striking arsenal with my jab and with effective low kicks.
Ready, timekeeper, let's go.
The bell, round number 1. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating. White trunks for Manny Muro, red trunks for Gage Young. Level change to the takedown, single leg. Well hit from Gage Young.
Beautiful single leg, runs the pipe, puts Manny down on his butt. They were exchanging some heat there. Felt some heat coming back from Manny. None of it landed, but kind of felt how hard he was throwing and said, hey, I'm going to change my level and then take you down here.
Grinding legal head pressure from Gage Young. Leading with the forehead. Not only legal, that's very smart, as well as very effective.
Gage needs to circle Manny off the fence. He can pick either side. Going to his right would be a little easier, just like he does there. That's going to help him. Manny wisely puts his back up against the fence again.
Young again, you see, staying forehead to forehead. That's not a headbutt because there's no backwards forwards action with the head or side to side.
Gage trying to turn him again. Beautiful job there. He just needs to keep it. He needs to keep the head position. He needs to go eyes over eyes to keep it, and Manny wisely gets back up.
Muro, well done, back to his feet. Young staying tight, chest to chest.
That was a cool little fight we saw there. We saw the battle of head position, and we saw the battle of who's able to keep their back to the fence.
Young looked for the ankle pick, couldn't find it. Back up the body on the underhook. Knee to the body of Muro from Gage Young.
My old coach would always say high head wins scrambles, and that couldn't be more true. Ever since I started looking at it that way, anytime I'm in a scramble, I try to keep my head above theirs, and it seems to work.
On the separation, Muro coming forward, hands high and tight.
And this is where Manny's comfortable. Although Gage is also known as a striker, this is an area where Manny has won most of his fights is on the feet, putting on beautiful boxing displays.
You just saw in the last sequence, Muro looking for the takedown, stuffed, and now the takedown from Gage Young.
Gage showing some of that Sedalia wrestling, baby.
Open guard from Muro. Muro now trying to posture onto his hip. 250 remaining, round number 1 of our main event.
And this is smart for Gage. If your opponent is known to be very good in one area and hasn't really shown different departments, let's take him there. Although you're a very good striker yourself, let's make him uncomfortable.
On the chest hold. Muro trying to explode to his feet. Muro again, full credit back to his feet, and full credit to Gage Young staying tight.
Good on Manny. He does the right things. He uses that fence as support, as like almost a third leg to try to get back up, excuse me, and it works. It's worked every time he's gotten back to his feet. Good.
Separation from Muro. And Muro coming forward to the center of the cage. Low kick from Young.
Good frame to elbow there. That's what he exited that clinch with. Manny was like, all right, I'm gonna give you a little something on the way out.
Lead left hook from Muro. Young on the rear teep, get caught. Muro trying to hit the takedown. Young right back to his feet. Left hook landed to the body from Muro on the separation. There's the hard teep from Gage Young.
Very Kevin Holland-esque what just happened there. Muro caught the kick and Gage said, hey, I can still hit you from here. Landed a straight 2 on the chin, and Manny tried to finish the takedown to no avail.
Young coming forward off the jab.
And we've seen that a lot more off caught kicks. People are just like, I'm just gonna keep trying to punch you. Catches the kick, Manny's on his back, Gage on top.
Big shots from the top, S-grip from the bottom from Manny Muro. 1:15 remaining, round number 1.
And now we get to see Manny on his back in open mat, away from his back against the fence. So we get to see how Manny uses get-ups from this position versus having his back to the fence and using the back as support. And I'll tell you what, it is a lot more difficult in open mat.
Young trying to suck in the right arm of Manny Muro. Muro again trying to scramble to his feet. Young staying tight, staying relentless. Knee to the body from Gage Young.
Good short elbow by Gage. Mixing in the wrestling with some striking.
And the separation, there's that hard teep again from Gage Young. Left hand, right hand just off the mark from Muro.
Manny's game.
There's the right hand.
Overhand lands again.
Muro opening up his right hand. On the takedown, Young told us in our fighter meeting he would use his wrestling defensively, doing so there, keeping this fight standing, stuffing that shot. On the turn, driving pressure with the right shoulder from Gage Young. Final seconds, round number 1. Muro looking for the separation. Right hand from Young just off the mark. There's that teep again.
Good teep to the body. And man, Manny throws with heat. Gage has to be careful. He uses his shoulder a lot as protection when he backs up. That overhand has landed twice. That third time missed, but it's getting awfully closer to home every time. Here in the replay, we see a beautiful reap of the leg to finish the takedown on Manny Muro. Good teep that's caught, and Gage decides to keep striking off the caught kick. Temporarily down, immediately gets back up. There we see a slip from Manny as they both threw kicks. Gage ends up on top, is able to land a little bit of ground and pound. And that overhand, that's the one I'm referring to. It's getting awfully close. And when Manny throws with heat, he doesn't know how to throw a feeler punch. It's to put you out. And towards the end of that round, we just saw the veteran and Muro come out. This is how he wins fights. He gets back up. Okay, you can take me down, but I'm gonna get back up. And we kind of saw the momentum start to shift towards the end of that round. I still, again, I'm not a judge, but I score that for Gage. But we saw the momentum start to shift, and Manny said, cool, you're going to take me down, I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to put it on you.
You saw UFC veterans, Zach Cummings, Jason High in the corner of Gage Young. They've now exited the cage. To round number 2 we go. Muro, you see, loading up that right hand. Young continuing to throw the jab. There's the jab right back from Muro.
And good on Gage to get his jab involved. But the problem with that jab is if you're using it as a sniper and you're keeping it low, Manny's best weapon is that overhand right. And if you're jabbing at him from your waist level, that means it's not coming back to your face. And that overhand can't land.
Young staying busy off of the jab. Now switching stances to throw that left kick. That kick not getting through from Muro, but the idea was there. Feint on the level change from Gage Young. We're off his back foot, off of the jab. Step in jab from Young. Young now mirroring the hips, Jeff, as you see.
This is good for Young.
Right, down goes Manny Muro. Young looking to finish. He does. Game, set, match, Gage Young.
Wow, beautiful shot. Just as I thought the momentum shifted towards the end of round 1, Gage comes out, and Manny's still out. Muro's still out cold. Wow. Gage switched some things up in that second round, switched to southpaw, gave him a different look. Manny's still out. And here we're seeing some great sportsmanship from Gage Young. Not many people have been able to do that to Manny Muro. Wow, what a performance. Here in the replay, we see a body kick land, misses that hook, and just a check hook right on the button. Not from his home stance, from the southpaw stance. He throws a kick, he doesn't care where his legs are, ends up in a different stance, lands a check hook, and that was lights out.
We talk about rapidly emerging prospects in Fighting Alliance Championship. It is a proven direct pipeline to the UFC. Gage Young, at 23 years old, most definitely, Jeff, a rapidly emerging prospect. Now 6-1 in his pro MMA career.
That's a very impressive win to have under your belt. Manny Muro is a decorated fighter, and although his record might not look the best on paper, he's fought the who's who and holds wins over some of the who's who. That was a very impressive win. Gage Young incorporated wrestling, showed a different level of his game, and then coming out in that second round just showed different looks, landed a nasty hook from the opposite stance, and that was all she wrote.
Gage Young talked about setting up his striking with his jab, with his low kicks. We saw that on full display. Young Jeff also talked about using his wrestling, his grappling defensively to keep the fight standing where he felt that he could really take over. We saw that on full display as well.
Yeah, and credit where credit's due. Gage, here in this replay, we see that kick. Look at that, his sense of timing and range is so good. And it's tough to fight someone like Manny who's just throwing heat. And I was a little critical of the end of that first round, but it's tough to fight someone that's just throwing hammers at you. You know, you really have to be on your P's and Q's, and he did the right thing. He waited to round 2 to kind of engage in the pocket a little more and not wrestle so much, and it paid off. That check hook was beautiful. Gage Young moves to 6-1. Coming off his first loss, this has to feel so good.
Our fight replays are presented by Major Pack, and our winner announcement is presented by Milagro Tequila. Here is Brian Wood.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 55 seconds in the second round. Your winner by KO, due to strikes, out of the red corner, Gage Young.
Manny Muro entered with 13 pro MMA wins, a 5-fight Bellator veteran, highly accomplished. Gage Young was on point. The knockdown to the ground and pound finish. Gage Young not only showed explosiveness and technique, Jeff, he showed real composure in this fight.
Yeah, patience. Just when I thought that the table was, I don't want to say turning, but there was a momentum shift. He kept getting back up, Manny did. I think he left his gloves there. If this is Manny's last fight, you know, he went against a highly touted prospect, a kid that picked up his life and moved to a gym hours away from his home. This is no knock on Manny Muro. He had a great career. Gage Young just you know, blossomed today and put on a very impressive performance.
Gloves in the center of the cage from Manny Muro. If indeed this proves to be his retirement fight, honestly, a pleasure and an honor to commentate Manny Muro in his what could be final fight of his outstanding pro MMA career. Gage Young, he feels that he is just getting his outstanding pro MMA career fully going again, now 6-1 for the 23-year-old, and that was impressive in our main event. Victorious by way of second round TKO, Gage Young defeats Manny Muro.